and so I recorded a hot take on an issue of the day, as was the fashion at the time. So, Bearing's channel has disappeared, and this has caused quite the kerfuffle. And I have some things to say about that, I suppose. Now, this may not be a particularly popular take, but I think technically, rather than perhaps ethically, that the company as Fresh TV is in the right. Bearing has been using the bear from Total Drama Island, apparently, which I've never watched. So technically, yes, they do have a claim against him. But it doesn't really stop there. Lots of people use avatars or images of people that they identify with or that they feel suits the mood of their channel. And many of these technically belong to other people. So is this fair use? If you alter it, is it fair use? How much do you have to alter it before it's fair use? Could you use Mickey Mouse with triangular ears and get away with it? Or, yeah, what? At what level does it become okay? At what level does it become not okay? There's some other aspects to this we need to consider as well, such as a company like this wouldn't normally care about this kind of use, unless you're using clips from their show and so on that they would normally care, which rather suggests a snitch, so to speak, and I think we can all think of people who would be responsible for that. And we all know that the YouTube system, there is no getting around the fact that the YouTube system is fucked. The automatic effects come in if you use a clip over 20 seconds in length. So if you want to avoid that, stick to below 20 seconds, but that still doesn't protect you. If someone decides to point you out or direct someone your way. I've had problems with music that was explicitly put up online saying, hey, feel free to use this royalty free, no problem, no restrictions on your videos, and it still gets flagged. So I'm currently in a counterclaim on one of those. I've had public domain video that I've downloaded flagged by opportunistic people trying to claim that they own it when they don't. When you challenge, they disappear, but how many people don't challenge? How much money is made that way? If they are okay doing this, and I think they are, it has knock-on implications. How many people use avatars on forums or blogs or elsewhere derived from other people's work? Yeah, it's a slippery slope fallacy, I suppose, but making a decision on this one way can potentially, definitely have knock-on effects for other usage. Bearing changed the image. He should have been okay. It wasn't the sort of thing that would turn up on a cursory glance for these companies. And when he started his channel, he never knew he was going to get this degree of success and so on. So these aren't the kinds of things you necessarily think about when you start up. So what's likely to happen here? I mean, I don't know. It's even for a channel as large as Bearing's, it seems to be virtually impossible to get hold of YouTube and to resolve this. The multiple strikes all in a row are an issue because they just take a channel offline straight away, something that other channels, criticism and observation and comment channels have run into before. So how do you deal with it? I don't know. YouTube needs to make changes, and we don't necessarily have that much influence to make YouTube do that. They seem more interested in dicking around with algorithms and changing the notification system and things like that, rather than actually solving some of these deep core issues and problems that they have. There definitely needs to be a better content ID system. There needs to be a better way to deal with these complaints. Your channel shouldn't be immediately struck down just because someone spams a bunch of copyright complaints against you. You should have your day in court, your say, your chance to remedy or counterclaim or challenge what's being done to you, and that hasn't happened in this case. So what's likely to happen? Like I say, I think they have a case. However bad we think that case is, however unethical we think that case is, this is further complicated by internationalism because Bering's in Australia, and from what I recall, Australia has a little bit looser ideas about copyright and so on. So what he's done may be perfectly legal in Australia, but not necessarily in the US or wherever YouTube is claiming to be based at this point. Fixing this would probably require essentially removing all of Bering's videos and starting over with a new Bear avatar and getting going again from the start. That's if they give him his channel back, which they should if he can remedy this situation, which would be deleting the videos. And then he should be able to get back on his feet again. It's not your past videos that make the most money for you, it's your new ones, it's the ones that people immediately watch. So, with help from his fellow YouTubers and so on, it should be relatively easy for Bering to get back on his feet in that kind of situation. But we just don't know what's going on, whether anyone will get back in touch with him, how it will end up getting resolved. We know jack and shit. But I'm sure someone out there can volunteer to make Bering a new Bear avatar that he can use without any of these problems in the future. And hopefully that's how it will get resolved, with the removal of the offending videos, and then he can get back to work. But like I say, this has knock-on effects for the rest of us anywhere online. What is the extent of fair use? How do we stop people abusing these claim systems? Because people do abuse them, whether it's their material or not. It seems there seems to be a little business of basically extorting money out of clueless YouTubers. That's not good, and has potential implications for other issues all over the net, with people's anonymity, people's choice of identity online. Big problems. Anyway, that's my relatively uninformed hot take on the issue. What I expect will happen will be YouTube will let Bering have his channel back, but with the offending material removed, and he can start over. And I'm sure we can all support Bering in getting going again. But you've got to extract some kind of communication out of YouTube before that happens. And that, as we all know, is incredibly difficult, and that is another problem that's going to have to be faced. Take care, everyone. Zang.
Stop.